Hello again, it's Gigi Garth with the Gigi Garth Beach Reading Back to School Book Report Series. Um, I'm Gigi Garth, and I'm reading today chapter 5 from Dragon Slayer of the Pink Sand Dead Sea Desert, which is my fifth book, and you can buy it below at the link below from Jumpmaster Press, together with my first book, which is a collection of 4 scary books in one. I don't know if you can see that. Gigi Garth Tetralogy. It was published 25 years ago for young adults, and this Dragon Slayer is for 18 and up. It is a fairy tale for millennials, G-rated, and moms might want to decide if their teenagers can read it or not. But it's a tiny bit mature, so there's nothing horrible in it. So thank you for your time, and here's chapter 5 of Dragon Slayer. Day 3 at the Pink Sand Dead Sea Desert Oasis. It was one day before Slayer's wish fulfillment day, and the desert heat was oppressive. Our hero, the Dragon Slayer, awoke shortly past sunrise to a red sky. Only then he discovered himself in a crumpled heap above the skyline, on dew-damp stones under a blistering ball of desert fire. Genie! Where's Genie? What the heck happened? He wondered. Really? Slayer tried to shake off the swoony effects of Macallan's, followed by myriad mint juleps he and Genie had downed after his cerulean blue dragon slaying party. That, coupled with champagne chasing down red worms marinated in aged agave, and a slammer headache rivaled abashed befuddlement. Where am I? Dazed atop the citadel, our hero rubbed his beard bristles and glanced round to identify his whereabouts. Apart from a penguin-dressed waiter who lay snoring peacefully in a far corner of the stone patio near the bar, Dragon Slayer was alone at the citadel. The southpaw rubbed his sinistral sword arm. Every one of his sinewy muscles ached. Where the heck was Genie? The previous night started to come back to him in shards of Macallan's flotsam and mint julep jetsam, and then, for a skinny minute, his mental acuity cleared. Oh, God, Slayer whispered. What have I done? Genie's a guy, or is he a... The Kink's Lola echoed in the dungeons of Slayer's temporal lobe. Slayer could only vaguely recall, and he wasn't quite sure if what he suspected he had experienced with Genie was real. And he really needed to find out. He really needed to find Genie to confirm what the heck had gone down, as it were, between them. He wanted to be sure that they were still friends if an indiscretion or calamitous impropriety had spontaneously combusted under the influence of juleps et al. Slayer sweated profusely, swallowing nausea. It was coming back to him. After too many sloppy slush puppies, there was an interlude, he recalled, a vibe, alcohol miasma liquidated Slayer's memory. Chagrin gnawed his very bones from within, and he bowed his head. That hurt too. Oh, Genie, we have to talk, he thought decidedly. We'll figure it out. He knew he would have to take the lead on this one. with his quixotic co-conspirator. Genie, Slayer called out to the desert breeze. Nada. His head throbbed, his Achilles ached. He remembered red and dragon. Oh, crapulence, he muttered, lumbering to his feet. Crapadina. He noticed recent raw wounds on his arms. How did I get... Slayer leaned his taut abs against the crumbly crenellation encircling the citadel and looked out. In the distance, happy oasis merchants had begun to set up shop in the open market. Far beyond, on the horizon, sulphurous smoke rose in thin tendrils from the cave of the vilest crimson dragon as it slept off last night's brush with Slayer-inflicted death. Endeavoring to heal its own wounds, the Allery monstrosity had stuffed the slashes and gashes inflicted by our hero with antibacterial gold bullion cached to the stalactite ceiling of its lair. Prescient as a blood brother, Slayer Achilles sensed his nemesis' thoughts as it dreamt of last night's skirmish. I could have had you, flying rat bastard, Slayer shouted in the direction of the vilest crimson dragon, far away under the distant mountains. Next time, it's a takedown, a single stroke. Tonight. But what had happened with Genie? Head in hands, cobwebs. Slayer did recall that he and Genie had raced to the Citadel bar. Squarely, slowly, he pieced it together. Achilles himself and his healing Achilles heel had got infused with a good hit of endorphins while racing on foot alongside Genie on naughty magic carpet, that stunning 100 knots per square inch silk and wool blend, adorned with fractal arabesques. Magic, of course, for how else could the colossus that was the Genie transit 1,000 spiral steps to the top of the Citadel Bar and Grill Tower? Even though Genie summarily beat him to the pinnacle of the Citadel, Slayer had gleefully climbed up the endless caracole of steps, generously feeding his rock-hard calves and quads with ephemeral infusion. Way at the top of the tower by the crenellation the two friends had sat, enjoying Chesapeake blue crab cakes, oysters dashed with limed horseradish, truffle fries, and way too many syrupy cocktails. All the while they watched the distant horizon where dragons blazed about in nocturnal terrorization of the diffident but delicious mountain villagers. Slayer recalled more. For sure they had sauced the night away, and for sure barriers had dropped, as it were. And then two more odd things had happened simultaneously. Both confounded Slayer, but one of which still confounded Slayer most especially. The first confounding thing was less confounding than the second confounding thing, yet it was still bloody confounding, and it was this. The vilest crimson dragon had swept in unexpectedly, alighting on the citadel, inciting mayhem. Guests who fled down the spiral stone staircase were briskly torched. Others hid behind the bar with the waiter. Thereupon Slayer stuck the crusty intruder. Several times his glistening platinum blade sank to its hilt, drawing buckets of green, acid blood that ate away a section of the stone crown wall of the tower. But before our hero could plunge a death blow into the leathery nethers of the vilest crimson dragon, Slayer had become distracted. What distracted him? Well, it was the second confounding thing. a thing that he still could not quite rightly account for. The second confounding thing had distracted Achilles from slaying the thorny red devil once and for all. And still now, even as he stretched his Herculean forearms and squinted into the stabbing rays of morning sunlight, Slayer's mind could not fathom that second confounding thing, and that he was certain he had witnessed in the night. The vilest crimson dragon had attacked Genie, and that was bad, of course. As the red dragon sank its razor claws into Genie's copious folds, Slayer had flung himself between predator and prey, striking mercilessly at the creature. His sole goal was to save his dear friend Genie, and then, out of the corner of his eye, in a crevice of peripheral vision, the second confounding thing had transpired. Genie changed. No, not the pink and green outfit with the black pantaloons. Physically changed. Shapeshifted. But that's impossible. Did I hallucinate from the Mexican redworms? It was only for a fleeting slow-mo moment. Nevertheless, it was a pulchritudinous moment that had mesmerized Slayer. What did I see? Slayer's besotted daze was short-lived, longer than a plank, yet shorter than a millisecond. The equivocally mystifying distraction had lasted just long enough for the vilest crimson dragon to escape, and with it the stinking gargoyle ripped Genie from Slayer's grasp. Despite Genie's great mass, the powerful dragon flew off into the impenetrable obsidian desert night, with Genie screaming in pain against embedded dragon talons. Crushed by the loss of his friend, nonetheless, Slayer was certain, like a waking dream, he was 99.999% certain that he saw Genie change into, could it have been? Slayer admonished his own hopes. Was he a she? His heart was affected. It would be some time before he realized the true effect. Slayer would have gone after Genie right then under the mocking stars, but he had blacked out from having drunk too much booze. Hours later, in the searing morning sun on the stone deck of the Citadel Bar and Grill, Slayer was overcome by grief and waves of nausea. Last night's excessive alcohol consumption consumed him as he threw up over the friable crenellation rack. Then, splat, Achilles succumbed to a faceplant on the granite slab floor, pancaked in another stone-cold blackout. And that, my friends, is the end of Chapter 5 of The Dragon Slayer, The Pink Sand Dead Sea Desert. If you'd like to read it, you can buy it below from Jumpmaster Press, or wait for me to read the next installment. Thank you so much for your time, and have a good time till next time. Bye.